going to be kind of the biggest stumbling block for them, because they can hit their shots, right? We know that they are good players individually, but when it comes to getting that synergy together as a team, this is obviously where they're struggling, and of course we understand why.
And here we go. Obviously, the ESL Challenger Rotterdam 2022 South American Closed Qualifiers. This is the best of three. We're on to the second map here between Furia Academy and Paquetá Gaming. So far, being a little bit of a train wreck here for Furia under understandable circumstances. Excuse me?
Wrong map. It's not a train wreck.
Hey, I was like, hang on, wait, what did I go wrong? And I could hear them typing in the chat. I was like, oh, what went wrong? Not quite sure what they're doing. We might be seeing a restart go on, if I'm right in saying. So obviously something potentially has happened. I'm waiting for a message from our production to tell me if there has been an issue go on. But anyway, I guess that's a little bit of a one player crash. There you go. Again. Who is
That'll
it?
do it.
Is it CK Zhao?
Is it Zhao? Yeah, probably.
Standing black.
Oh,
He's
no,
back.
he's alive. He's alive.
Hang on.
Okay, so is it Koala? Koala hasn't moved. Koala's still not moving. Maybe it's him.
Interesting. Ooh, look at that movement though. I love it. Bunny hopping. Oh. And so what? Like within bunny hopping, I'd say Overpass, Cash, which obviously isn't in the rotation at the moment, Inferno, and a couple of others, including Nuke, are really good for bunny hopping, because you have to try and have the flattest of ground, because you have such a minimalistic chance to be able to try and hit the hop that you need a straight, like, flat floor, not like in the parkway or anything like that. And some of the floors just have random polygons and stuff sticking out the ground, because Valve hate bunny hopping. I don't blame them, but, you know, it's my favorite thing about the game, I think.
I know there's a few games that have had bunny hopping and that have had it removed, and
it's a bug.
Pretty much. There was an outcry, and they're like, what do you mean? It's a skill jump. Like, this is not the kind of thing that you do by accident. You have to know how to do it, and it's so difficult, and you're taking away part of the skill set. No, it's a bug. Okay.
Yeah, that was Apex. They removed it from Apex as well, and I was just like,
they also removed like bunny hopping and healing. That was also a big one.
It was like that was like one of the main reasons I love this. Like, I'm able to go like above and beyond what other people are going to be able to do, and that's one of the things like within the CS:GO. I've been an admin for like a fairly large bunny hop community on CS:GO since 2014.
That's a thing?
Yes, less so nowadays because people play KZ or Surf and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, and I mean, we had, I think, like 30, no, probably actually no, close to like 90,000 people on our like records and stuff. Actually, more than that or something. And we used to have like queues of 100 to 1,000 people trying to get on the service. But anyway, nonetheless, let's talk about this. The reason why I brought up bunny hopping is because these players are fairly skilled and they use it to their advantage when you can. See if they're going to be able to do that into this game. It's going to be a 3-on-3 situation in towards on a pass here. CK Zhao and his teammates going to be here, ready to jump on them. He's going to be the first one to be head on. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit more head on than he wanted.
No!
It's just jumping up and down, but it's going to be the dual Berettas from Koala coming through. Not so cute and cuddly now, is he?
It's a new definition to bunny hopping.
He was just jumping up on the
straight
spot
up
and hitting heads. They were trying to track him, just couldn't do it whatsoever. Furia do recover from this though. They're playing squeaky door.
The attempt at closing the door, man, like the Homer Simpson meme.
Doorstock! If you don't know Doorstock meme in CS, then I'll have to send it to you, but it's a classic. It's gonna be it. Flash. Oh, I thought that was like a decoy at the moment. No.
I mean, that's valid. That's quite cool.
Used it. Oh! He can't quite get it. He can't quite today. That was his one opportunity.
I think this is the best round I've ever watched in my life.
What is going on? Ali, mate. Do something about this. He pushes in. He's now fully dedicated. The dual brand players come around, and it's going to be Koala with a shutdown. And I am so happy. That made my day.
That was fantastic. I think that's the best round I've ever casted in any game ever. So thank you for that. So they
best round I barely casted.
Valid. And I think I just giggled the whole way through it. It's great. So Bomb didn't go down, and Furia won the round. pretty plain to see what the consequences of that is going to be. VenomZera has bought into the AK. Now, if it was any other player, I might have questions about that, but he's been really solid for Paquetá. Either way, it's still a bit of a risky force.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on this. It's an interesting, like you're saying, but I don't think it's going to work out for them. Honestly, it's going to be a dangerous pick. If X and S can just jump on the spot and get a couple of kills, and, you know, GG, who cares? But we'll have to wait and see. He hasn't got a Glock, he's got a Deagle this time. CK Zhao is going to have a massive disadvantage versus Venom, but he has spotted him out. They both spotted each other, so falling back. They're giving them a lot of space, but the timer is counting down. Now, if you have a look at the map, you can see that toilets are controlled by the T-Slide. X is controlled, albeit they don't have full understanding of this. Be short as well. Ooh, tag comes through. That's big. Those Glock players, they can now get close and personal. They're going to be able to get an easier kill. You can see that. At the moment, one of the players over towards B is playing a little bit more passively, waiting for Venom. He's going to be the first one heading straight into them. The flashes are going to come out momentarily. Going to be the spray. He finds one. Does get dinked. Doesn't get killed, though. The turnaround of CK's out is going to get the kill. They do get the pickup of both weapons. And Ali, he is on over towards B. He's looking to close this down. He's only got a block, but I say that. He's still hitting headshots. How is this possible? Come on. The Glock, this is just so disrespectful. Gets those dinks. And also the kill going to be coming in from his teammate, but Koala's going to be here with the M4 holding his corner. Oh. Wow, what is going on? Follow turns on, flicks on, gets the kills. X and S as well with his Deagle shot, and somehow this turn up against them. How this happened? This is just smart gameplay from Paquetá.
I think the big, obviously, instrumental piece of this was VenomZera. So he buys into that AK, he plays tip of the spear up long, plays anti-flash, so when the flash comes out, he knows he has an opportunity to swing out and gets the first kill. And that is super important. Yes, he does get traded out, but a flash had come out kind of at the same moment, and that gives the cover to Paquetá to be able to pick up those weapons. And it's not necessarily known that there are so many more players there. And even if you do know that, you're kind of expecting them to back out, not to push a little bit further. So they get away with absolute murder, pick up 2 weapons for themselves, and save themselves a little bit of cash into this round. And Furia, I mean, now Furia are in a tough spot. They forced into that previous round, as they should. And unfortunately, they've lost it. So not much to work with here.
Scout's going to do a lot of work. He pulls it away, and he's not going to get it out again.
Hate to see it.
Pistol's going to have to do a lot of work here. See if they can. That's going to be the real question.
Got some deagles. There's potential.
Yeah, you know, 5.7 is decent up close and personal. If you try to use that as a sniper, you're going to be, well, disappointed. Eagle, on the other hand, Koala, going to be missing a shot. It's not really going to be, going back down towards water. About at the moment. That's going to get Molotov off. Pretty well dive from that, actually. 15 XP. Stays alive, takes 2 points of damage. Destiny. That's going to be the 5-7 minutes work. Does a little bit of damage. Gets the kill as well. That's going to be Ali going down. Runner's going to get eventually fragged down. Venom is just coming alive in this game finally. Last game is absolutely beast mode. Shut down by the Deagle, but not before X and S is going to be able to get a little bit of a trade-off. Last player left alive, Sam. Is he going to be able to pull this off?
Oh!
2 Deagle shots. I was joking, but
the hero we needed.
The only thing standing between him and his destiny as well. He's going to be trying his best. Unfortunately, it turns out a wall is not thick enough to block those bullets, and he is going to fall. Yeah, he dies. And I'm just going to say, I love you, producers. Understanding the memes, you know, doorstock. Love it.
It's terrible. I'm not the doorstock thing, just the terrible puns.
It's all I am.
I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a repeat of what we'd seen previously on Inferno. Not in terms of scoreline, but just in terms of how close these rounds keep going. I mean, despite the fact that Furia are on a pistol round, they still bring it all the way down to just a couple players left alive. Now, unfortunately, back on the USPSs, VenomZera doesn't want to let them have that same performance. Gee, oh no.
Okay, it's going to be the pistol gang once again. We saw this actually on Inferno where we 3 kills against the AK. Make that even more. It's going to be the P250s. It's going to be a 1v1. Ali, 70 HP. Decenti with 55. His position is now known. His head is found. Never mind. He gets the kill and the turn of event of this entry there. He's going to be leaving it on a 2-2 situation. Interesting. It's going to be putting both of these teams in a bit of a difficult bind when it comes to economy.
Honestly, that's a okay, sure moment. Like, not too much to be said on that front. Well played, Furia. Happened. Yeah, honestly. Furia just kind of doing very similar to what they did a little bit previously. I suppose very similar to what Paquetá did to them, right? I mean, okay, Paquetá had the hero rifle at the time, but Furia just does it with pure pistol power. You love to see it. And they're able to even out the scoreline. I think this is already looking a little bit more back and forth than what we'd seen on Inferno. But again, we have to bear in mind that Furia is kind of hinging a lot on the CT side. And they're going to want to have to build, or they're going to want to build up a much stronger barrier buffer for themselves. So buying into the AWP here, good decision. Just in terms of having a lot more firepower, something to just kind of back up that little bit of punch and to try and stop Paquetá from gaining too much space, because Paquetá have been doing a pretty good job of gaining that map control relatively early on. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of deny a little bit of that with that AWP.
Oh no, the smoke didn't bloom. Didn't get it off, and now Koala is going to be on the other side of this other smoke. Look to get the kills. Brian's going to go down. Koala is completely unseen. He's going to stay alive with 2 HP. Takes down another last player. Falls a little short. Damage done. 1 player lost. Koala somehow, you know, staying alive even through it, even though he was sitting in those flames.
Anti-eco in it. That's that's all I have to say about eco rounds these days. Unless, of course, we have some miracles like we had 2 rounds back, in which case those are fun. But I think that we kind of expected Paquetá to not be able to do too well on that one. They all just kind of rushed Monster, and they all just kind of got rode down. And the unfortunate thing is, of course, now it's the double eco. They've got nothing into this round whatsoever. And this should be kind of more of the same, just a bit of a rush through processes.
Ooh, this player's going to be in a lot of trouble, but Kurz is going to be here from a distance. Takes down 3 of them. Looks to come in with the USB to close them out, but instead going to get shut down. Trade does come through, but was that too greedy? Did he really have to go for the 5k?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
It's about sending a message. Unfortunately, message not received, but thankfully someone was there to back it up, so fair enough. Well done, Furia. Giving themselves the lead here. I think this is the first time they've had a lead. Apart, like, obviously last round they were 3-2. Now they're 4-2. But this is the first time in the entire series that they're actually in a leading position. So this is good. This is leverageable. They have to keep this going. Keep Paquetá on their toes a little bit here. Nice early map control as well, all the way down into Underpass. They're leaving a little bit of space open towards B, but they should be able to catch anyone on the cross. So potentially there's some firepower to be had here in this setup.
I definitely have chucked Venom that AK, especially as he's entering. You don't have him have that initial firepower to hit those headshots. But Koala,
oh, no.
He's going to be down towards short. They have entered onto this position, and well, there you go. Excellent. Quick work of that. They're going to be going in for this boost spot. They could make quick use of this and be able to get the kill. The bomb is going to go down. No!
He
How have you done this?
No!
Not like this. They could have stopped the bomb plant.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Oh, Furia, you can't blame that on your IGL being out of the server. At this point, they've lost control of the round. It span out of control.
Honestly, I could be way off base here, but I'm calling it on that one random smoke that wound up towards bathrooms. I honestly believe, because as soon as that smoke bloomed, Furia started pushing out a little bit more. They seem to be a little unsure of where Paquetá are going to be pushing. That smoke was deep, and it really looked like it might just be kind of a mid-push. So they push out a little bit more. Oh, denied. Keeping it a little bit back and forth there. Love to see it. But something so small that divides the attention a little bit. Now, they do still have the one person looking on towards sight. We saw the boosted position there. But yeah, sliding straight off the top of the head and just not being able to deny at that point, yeah, you just get the hell out of Dodge. And that's unfortunate. At least they're still able to buy into this one, but they're slowly starting to lose that train that, I say buy, obviously it was almost a full save, but they're starting to lose that little bit of momentum that they had.
Gotta wonder, that kind of mistake on that last round, I mean, obviously that smoke blooming over towards toilets or bathrooms, you know, you can put some blame on it. A little bit disorganization from Furia's side, but they gave up the position a little bit too fast with very little information, so I don't really think that's forgivable. We're going to be seeing another execution over towards B. I mean, if it works 2 times in a row, essentially, why not try and make it work multiple times? And he's going to be getting the flashes in here after the Molotov going down. Initially, it's going to be the smoke going through Koala. Ooh. Although completely blinded, still gets the kill. Doesn't matter, Ali's going to be able to get the trade up. Ron gives away his position. Doesn't get a kill, not a single point of damage. Does receive 8 thanks to that Molotov that had gone down. Interesting fact that I hadn't realized until way too long is that Molotovs and incendiary grenades actually do the same damage now. It never used to be. The Molotovs used to spread a little bit further and do a little bit more damage, but no longer.
The more you know.
The more you know.
I felt like this was a better setup from Furia, just taking a lot more space across the map, but they do give up about 3/4 of the map for, you know, Paquetá to just push up in, but this could be every... No, he gets flashed out!
What you want to see, but it's going to be CK Zhao with the AWP, misses that shot. That's going to be brutal. They're going to be up close and personal. He flicks, he misses, he goes down. Not given a second chance there. Running, decent here. Last 2 players left alive on the Furia side. It is crumbling before their very eyes. Last round, very lackluster. They didn't stand a chance. Didn't really have any impact. This round, honestly, pretty much the same again. I mean, Venom may well have gone down, but we saw Paquetá poke their head into BU, and it was like, nope. We're going to rotate all of our players, go over towards A, and yeah, I mean, just well played by Paquetá. That they're tearing Furia apart now.
Yeah. I mean, that one flash that comes through it, and you almost think to yourself, maybe just face tank the flash and spray and pray. Maybe you still get one, because realistically, I mean, he didn't get really anything done there. So maybe if he just sprays through the flash, maybe he can make something happen, but unfortunately, yeah, it just gets taken down. That's the site with only like 1 player left alive, and it is the Orpa, and he doesn't have anyone to give him information because the 1 player that was still alive has gone down, and it's a full rush onto the site. Like, realistically, what is he supposed to do in that situation? Bit of a rough one, all things considered. But again, I think it kind of feeds into that whole not having an IGL thing. Really just struggling to get information across cleanly, you know, and in a way that's digestible, in a way that you can kind of act on. And that is one of the key skills of an IGL. So clearly that's been a problem here. They're keeping it relatively even. Damage traded back and forth, but Paquetá seem to be gaining control again.
We do see Decency lose some HP there. I think he was wallbanged. I'm right saying from that. I wasn't sure if it was Molotov or wallbang. I'm going to go with wallbang.
Sarah lost a little bit as well, so it could have been a bit of util.
Yeah, I think he was hit by the same wall. Wait, no, yeah, it couldn't have been wallbang. Never mind. Interesting. We'll have to wait and see. These positions are fairly, like, they're more aggressive. We have 3 players over towards B, 2 on shorts, and that run boost. Ooh. He was not expecting that. What a play. You get the run boost out, you swing out with AWP, and you take care of the problem. There's Crash Bosh. There you go. Now they can push on over towards A-Long even further. Decent is going to be here. That close flash. First one did nothing. Second one, it's completely silent. Didn't hear it coming. Yeah, they've called these players out of their position, and they may well have used most of their utility on this front to get through here. X and Z. S rather. It's going to be an interesting position. They'll open the door. Flashed on how it works in his favor. Where did that flash even come from? He's 1 HP. Ali, you absolute beast. And you know what, Paquetá, they're just playing brilliantly here. They're giving Furia respect.
Yeah.
They're using this flash utility as much as they need. We saw it over towards... That's a little bit painful, but yeah, it's probably 1 HP versus an AWP. You know what? It doesn't really matter.
No.
Not when the shot's not even taken. But I'm just going to throw it back to... it was actually on Banana on Car with Paquetá, is that they didn't use as many flashes as they needed to be pushing up. If I remember correctly, on a couple of rounds, because they were like, yeah, we don't care, but after they failed on those rounds, they're like, okay, well, we'll show a little bit more respect. And as soon as that came into fruition, we just saw the crumbling of Furia. And that's what I think we're seeing right now is that Paquetá are just like, okay, we'll take a few strange rounds here or there, but otherwise we're going to put into place some really cool strategies. And the flashes, the run boosting, all love it.
Yeah. The other thing is, I appreciate what Furia are constantly attempting, because round to round, they're trying different things. They're trying different controls, right? Areas to try to hold from. But unfortunately, kind of every round, Paquetá just seems to have their number. And like you said, right, Paquetá giving them respect. And something we'd seen on Inferno that we're seeing a little bit of here, to a lesser degree, but is that slower play style. Waiting out, waiting for some of that utility to come out, playing those mind games, playing information starve, you know, bouncing back and forth between sites. And again, these are things that you realistically need a strong leader to deal with, to contend with. And I think that Paquetá are just doing really well at realizing that this is where their biggest advantage lies. And if they keep Furia on their toes, they're going to struggle.
Interesting. They now know where one of the rifles is. Essentially the only one. I'm sure they're now wondering what the hell's going on. And obviously they knew one person was able to make it through with the save. 3 of them down in towards that position is not so great. Exodus gets behind one of the players, and the information is that Venom has made his way on over. I would expect this potentially have been a fake, but no, they're fully dedicating their way onto this. It's going to be Koala with the first kill, the AK in hand. And now the rotation back is coming in. They're not afraid of returning and retracing their steps. I think that's definitely a boon for the side of Paquetá. They're able to retrace it, make their way down. CK's out. Gonna have to use the his only bit of utility, last bit of utility on him. We do have Koala with a flash and a smoke. And now they've rotated. This is a game of over-rotations, I think, from the side of Furia.
Again, I think it just comes to the mind games, just not knowing what to expect, where to expect it. You see some shots being fired in over towards that B site, and again, it's that kind of like we're trying to sell that that fake. And now, CK's out. Really important. Nope, that's it. He's gone. And they have to rotate back over towards A. They've lost a lot of that control, and Paquetá should just be able to overrun the site.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they've saved those 2 AKs. They do manage to get a kill, but at this point, you've got no defuse kit. You have got armor on both the players. So that's at least something to go off, but with no real utility to try and enter in here. You got no flashes, no mollies to try and push them out of the place. 1 smoke. These AKs could be big for them going into the next round. They do have enough money to buy, but they are still going to be in a little bit of a troubled situation as we go into this. The kill does come out, and they do back off.
Yeah, I love to see it. One little exit there, and again, just consistently keeping those rounds as close as possible. Now, unfortunately, close rounds don't win games. 1 rounds do, which of course has been where Paquetá have shone. And despite the fact that the rounds have been relatively close, Paquetá have still managed to build up a massive little nest egg for themselves. So much cash in the bank to work with. And as you said, right, Furia, their economy is such a mess at the moment. They can at least bring something to the table. But right now, their biggest issue isn't money. Okay, money is one of the issues. But the biggest issue, that ain't it. Because you could give them 11k each, and they would still be struggling. The issue is far more fundamental, and it's really sad to watch. But like you were saying at the end of the last map, you know, kudos to Paquetá. Ooh, what an HE! That's disgusting.
I think it's really something that you have to train yourselves for. I mean, and your IGL could be out of commission for whatever reason. For a round, it could be a couple of rounds, whatever. So I think if this is a sign of anything, perhaps they need to potentially train, obviously, like have that secondary sort of IGL position where it's like, okay, well, we need to have someone else who works a little bit closer with the IGL and is able to take up that mantle when needed. And sometimes that's going to be the case. He missed some action, but it's just going to be a trade back and forth. Venom does go down, but he managed to get killed beforehand. Last one left alive. Slightly tagged. 4 rounds on the board here, Samlo. It's more than likely going to be the 7th round, but it's not over yet. I think this at least is a decent start here on Overpass, but as we were both sort of alluding to, is that we weren't even alluding. We're just straight out saying we need to see Furia a massive amount of rounds on the CT side, and they're about to lose the advantage.
1 round left to... I say 1 round left. Like, obviously, Paquetá just need 1 more round to secure that lead. And Furia, of course, going to come into this with maybe an upgraded pistol or 2. Ooh, we've got that hero rifle again. And again, you know, if there's any character, what am I saying? Any player that's going to have it, I've been playing too much Disney, man. If there's any player that's going to have it, it'll probably be Kai's. Oh, Koala's picked one up as well. So 2 solid players here to have a little bit of firepower into this round. It's quite a spend. Could backfire, but hopefully they've got something in the back pocket to, you know, support it, back it up.
Yeah, Koala's going to be in a lot of trouble here in a couple of seconds. Going to be getting shot from behind if he hadn't already fallen. The AK of Venom. 3v5, but honestly it could be a 5v5 right now. This retake is going to be super hard for them to try and go through. Bomb is not down yet, gives them a couple of seconds, but they've already given up.
Yep, bought just to save, unfortunately. And they lost one of the rifles that they bought, so unfortunately seems unlikely that they'll be able to recover that one. Oh, can recover that one if he lives, maybe.
Robbie him up.
You say that?
How is he being allowed to give that? Okay, smoke does go down. Aggressive, but
no.
We're going to be giving it away. He gets another kill. What is going on?
What a god.
Way too relaxed on this situation. CK Zhao, though, from above, unfortunately, if he goes up, he's going to end up dying. But he's going to be playing a little bit more passive, staying in towards tunnels. You'd be able to hear Venom's footsteps here. Decent T. You have to be a little bit careful on that front, but okay, that's disappointing to see. It doesn't seem like the retake scenario is really there, you know, or capable for Furia so far.
I feel like retake is probably one of the situations where you most need a strong IGL to come up with the plan, because retakes will differ very often from round to round. You know, based on positioning, number of players left alive. It's not really something that you can call as like a set play kind of thing. So they are going to struggle in those retakes. Realistically, they need to kind of delete the forces before they get the chance to front.
Ooh, he's going to be sending them back. Exit. He just turns around, takes care of business. May well go down, but he's done his job. Yeah, he stopped the potential onslaught from Furia. And honestly, I think if he hadn't been able to get that kill, it could be looking at a very different scoreline here. Well, could be at least looking at 8-5, 8-6, but I think, well, this is going to be the 9th round on the board. There's no way they're going to go and defuse this now. So again, another save. Another difficult position they've found themselves in. And again, they don't have that leader ahead of them. And I know it kind of feels like we're obviously just banging on about the same thing, but honestly, it's the asterisk next to this game where what if?
See, this is the thing. In a usual game, you look at the play and you go, okay, possibly the IGL made a bad call here. And we know that normally this is the call that person would make. And then you kind of look into other areas where there could be a deficit. But when you don't have something as key, as pivotal, if it was just one of the riflers that had a sub on, it wouldn't be this much of an asterisk, because there would still be that strong leadership position. So it really does, as much as, you know, we've mentioned it so many times, but it honestly is a huge disadvantage for the Furia side. And another disadvantage is, of course, we'd hoped that they'd be able to make a runaway on their CT side, but it looks like it's just not gonna happen. And chances are, when we swap sides, when Paquetá take the CT, they could just drive this one home.
Yeah, it could be a quick best of 3 that we're looking at. I did joke around seeing overtime on each one of the maps. It's not gonna be the case, but Power, he's gonna be here to potentially extend and prolong. What's going on? He just jumped straight down. He had no chill.
Okay.
Okay, I love it. Complete respect.
he had to escape, right? Because the rest of Paquetá are closing in on him. But like, that was ballsy.
They made steps.
Oh.
Lord, one stays alive for a split second, but Venom is going to turn around and potentially hero to 0 here. They had every opportunity to be able to just close this one out, and yeah, he had to escape, but you know what? when your teammate's going to be too noisy. And that's what you have to consider. Like, they could have snuck up on the player there. They could have waited. They could have rotated back. There's lots of things they decided to do that, but instead, they got 1 kill. A little bit disappointing, but nonetheless, decent start here. From actually the star player we're looking at on the side of Furia. He's now dead, standing, CK Zaro, and is still alive. Destiny is just waiting for his teammate. They haven't quite worked out what is going on here. There's been no information disclosed between these two teams, but there's only 15 seconds left. Is now going down. Players could be making their way through bank, but never mind. Up through dumpster gets the kill. This is what they need. The 5th round on the board could make the difference here. It's obviously going to be second to last round, the penultimate round of off, and he jumps, and Venom gets shot down just like that.
What a god!
Get the 5th round on the board.
This is the 2nd round that I've said that about CK Zhao. What a god! Just with some really, really ridiculous shots. I suppose it goes to show why he is the sub for this team. He's been performing pretty damn well across the board. Unfortunately, it hasn't been quite enough to get them to where they need to be. But we're 9-5, last round in the half, and this has to be magic for Furia.
Well, looking at this buy, it's going to be a fairly spicy one. I mean, all things are equal, pretty much. So no excuses. That was a fantastic start of the round and end of the round here for Furia. They did really well, but end of the half, nothing to lose. No point in saving anything at all. You want to have bought everything in the bank and then some. Also, utility used right off the bat to hold multiple of these positions, and that's the movement I'm talking about. Get some of that.
Just inject it into your veins, huh? Oh, that's what I love to see. Give me more op shots. That's
CK
my thing.
Zhao, God.
Yeah, well, not up against Scafolo, unfortunately.
Well, has been a fantastic AWP player. He's not really had as much of an opportunity on the CT side.
Ooh, okay.
Takes care of Ali, who thought he could just walk through a smoke unharmed, and this time he's going to get shut down.
That was a decision.
Yeah, it was definitely one. Oh, over rotations again, potentially. No, they have actually left, you know, a player over and lingering on this side, and Garrett's going to be able to shut them down as they rotate on through. Carlo's going to go down, run. He takes the bomb holder down. Goes in for the 2nd kill, can't quite make it, but that's enough. 48 HP left from this player. XNS has been spotted. His position is known. That nade, unfortunately, does zilch. Bomb is in their possession. It is now being dropped towards Monster. Destiny looking to try and chime in here. He's in a 1v3 situation. He's gone through and just slaughtered 6-9. What a turnaround here, Sam. Alrighty, welcome back to Paquetá versus Furia Academy here on the ESL Challenger Rotterdan 2022 South American Close Qualifiers.
Yes. 9-6 to Paquetá, and of course Paquetá are on map point at the moment, so bit of an uphill battle here for Furia on their T side. We'd really hope that they'd be able to bring something into this on their CT side, have a chance to start bringing things back in their favor, but Paquetá have really shown their prowess.
Wonder if we're going to get another door situation here from the side of Furia and Paquetá. I'd absolutely love it. If they somehow manage to do this, it'd be fantastic. But we'll see. Ali, you can follow. And Destiny going to be looking to clothesline this team as they look to push up. There's going to be a double effort. 2 players up towards that mid area. Cavallo can get the first shot off, gets 1 kill, but they're going to get shot down. Somehow Furia, they come alive. They hit their shots. And you know what? We said they needed to get more rounds on CT side, but if they can, you know, start off hot and carry on throughout the rest of this half, they can do fantastically. Smoker's going to go off towards dumpster. Flash going to be working out. Venom doesn't get killed though. Going to be 4th out position.
What a god.
CK's out. There you go. What a god. Yeah, he's going to get the kill. This is a fantastic round. They managed to survive through so far anyway. I mean, is going to be on the prowl for the Julies. He's got enough bullets in that to take down an army.
I feel like the pistol round was the very least that they needed, though, to be fair. And not to, like, put a burst at everybody's bubble, but, you know, the same thing happened on Inferno. They were 9-5 down, they won the first pistol, and then Paquetá forced won that round, and just ran away with it. So hopefully we don't get a repeat of that for Furia's sake. Hopefully they can give themselves a little bit of a stay of execution here. You know, they're going to have a bit of cash in the bank into the next round, and they're definitely going to be better off than Paquetá Gaming in this particular instance. You know, Paquetá, obviously after losing the round, they're not going to have a hell of a lot of cash to use into this one. So we shouldn't see too much money being spent. So let's go, Furia. Biased caster reporting for duty.
Yeah, I'm here for that overtime and for the potential for Furia. 7 rounds on the board. I mean, they're in a much healthier position now than they were on Inferno, which is just strange. But they did start on the CT side, so maybe that's, you know, potentially why. We'll have to wait and see. Paquetá, they have forced into this, potentially questionable, but, you know, you're not going to have an economy for a while, so why not?
Yeah. I mean, if they win this round, because like I said, right, they did this on Inferno and it worked out. They were able to win the round. Furia, however, don't seem to be willing to let that happen a second time. History, you know what? If we don't learn from history, we are doomed to repeat it. Furia seems they may have learned.
Well, I mean, you know what they say: fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you know, shame on me. And they're not looking to let that happen. And that's a decent opportunity for them to try and prove themselves here. They haven't got the IGL. We called them out for it multiple times now that they're heavily dependent on that player. But if they can at least have a strong T side, then they at least have some kind of contingency to come back and fall onto. There's obviously this round should go in favor of Furia, but like you said, it's gone the other way beforehand. XNS is in the keeper's going to flop this one. I'm fine the second one though, but it is going to be the Julie player. It's going to be Venom looking to come alive and go full. Yeehaw! Right now, he's going to be able to pick up 1 kill. Goes in for the second, looking for the third. It's going to be a 1v2. Can't quite make it happen, but oh boy, it's still did fun.
4K? What a god. I mean, he's doing so much. I'm really impressed with this player. Coming in as the sub, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, and really pulling his weight, really doing a lot to keep Furia alive in this, and putting them on the brink of evening out the scores, which is huge for Furia. I mean, they haven't really had a solid position in either of these two maps in quite a while. Even at the beginning of the map, you know, they got like a 2-round lead, and then Paquetá just bring it back. So,
that is a lot of damage done with the grenade. Venom is going to be able to get 1 kill, but they're going to get slapped apart, which is, you know, to be expected. Being able to get 1 kill is, pistol rounds not quite as good as Furia's, as we did see, obviously, in that first half. A decent round from Furia with pistols.
I mean, to be fair, the HE damage was nuts.
Yeah. Well placed, as it should be.
Indeed. You love to see it. Great prediction as well, just to know exactly where to yeet that. Love it. But this is where things could potentially get a little spicy for Furia, because Paquetá are able to buy in now. Of course, they are lacking a little bit in the util department, but they do have the AWP online, and Qualf has been pretty good with it when given the opportunity. He's in a good position for it as well, so Furia have to be on top of their game. Gotta just keep that energy rolling.
Yeah, I mean, T side is not a strong side for the AWP, as we've seen. CT side? Yep, here we go. First kill. He started this round at 8-10. He's now on 9-10. Let's see how far he can go over the next couple of rounds. They're currently on equal. I mean, 9-9. I mean, we didn't see this pretty much at all in that first game. This game's been a little bit back and forth here or there. Shot missed. Follow. What's going on? Maybe he didn't eat his Weetabix this morning.
I just called him out for, like, you know, having some and this is not the first time, you know? Like, players really do like to prove us wrong in the worst possible ways.
Yeah. And, I mean, those things going to happen. They're going to have to back off, I think, if they're not careful, but we're going to wait and see. Koala making his way on over. Oh, please don't push through that smoke.
Oh, please just
XNS is right there. He's probably just self-boosted himself. Oh, and somehow, back and forth it goes. Koala shuts down Venom. Not worried about it. Follow up in towards Evan. 15 HP. Sorry, 11 HP. Doesn't care at all. Still
there we go.
Vengeance.
There we
go. Going to be coming through. Like I said, watch this player. He is going to fall down, but not before being able to get 3 kills for himself.
That one from Bruninho had a lot to do with, I think, positioning, because so a few shots get fired in his direction and you see him lose HP, so he fires back. And I mean, lucky him that he's able to connect with the headshot, because I believe that play was a little bit boosted up. So yeah, sure, I mean, credit to him, credit where it's due, but unfortunately, as predicted, that is Paquetá taking the lead once again and putting Furia in a really tight spot. Okay, it's just the god himself that's on a deagle, but if anyone's gonna make it work, it's gonna be him. But you gotta keep that momentum going, right? Everything is about momentum from this point on for Furia.
Yeah, well, momentum, like you said, they're gonna try and build this back up. Decency, as we've been told, is not the normal AWP player. That would be the, well, ZMS, but he's currently away if you are just joining us. This is going to be Furia playing without their IG out, and they are doing very well, all things considered. But, you know, you got to be tougher than just one player. You have to be a team together, and if one part of you falls apart or has to step away for a moment, you need to be able to take in a replacement and build from there. But obviously, IG was a key building block. 10-9, that round was a bit unfortunate, and it really came down to what we talked about, and specifically you, is that follow AWP. Dangerous combination.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have it available this time around though. But if he can yoink it from Decency, maybe there's a chance there. But he needs to be given the opportunity. And for now, like, Furia are playing a very, very slow game. Very reminiscent to what Paquetá do. But if they give even a moment of an opening, that could just spell disaster. Oh, it's crossfire.
Yes, crossfire is dangerous, especially if they don't use utility to be able to peek. If they're just going for the dry peek, which I think they have to, they're going to get torn apart, and that's exactly what happens. Destiny takes 2, and Ali takes the 3rd. And now we just see Decency and Ronan just left in a difficult situation. Shots come through, Cavallo. Pick up the AWP later if they need to, but it's not over yet. I think down Ali is a good step in the right direction, but honestly, a little bit less the Destiny picks up the smoke for trouble, and that's going to be round in favor of the CTs.
Yeah, I think, you know, we were talking about the utility and peeking that angle dry, and I mean, all they had was like a smoke and a flash, and sure, they could have used it, but I suppose they were kind of hoping that they'd be able to use that in a potential post-plant setup, so not really expecting that, crossfire. Jeez, yeah. I lost my words there for a second. Not really expecting that to be exactly there. So, unfortunate, but, oh, I like this.
Unfortunately, Cavallo doesn't have the AWP, and they're not peeking it, so that's unfortunate. It's one of my favorite boosts on any kind of map to see done, because it takes coordination, which is, you know, Furia, they actually had that there, but pistol buys on their side, they're going to be in a difficult situation. I don't know if they did have that flash or not, but if they did have it last time and set up for post-plant, makes sense, but unfortunately, I think that really set them down. And he up close and personal, does get tagged 48 HP, he peeks round. The god, as you like to call him, is going to be able to take him down. And you know what? That's another gun in their midst if they can go pick it up, which they can do unchallenged. Cavallo is going to be in toilets alone. He has got a teammate back over towards a site. And that is going to be Destiny with the M4. Good position. Considering it is going to go out. Flash are going to be completely blinding him. He's got a Glock. He's going to be causing distraction, but his teammates can't follow it up. Cavallo just going to come up behind them. Takes down CK's out, who had a gun, but didn't even equip it. Stuck with his pistol. That's the AWP player, Decency, last one left alive. Get that out of play. Throw away the AWP. Don't give it to your opposition. Actually, I mean, to be honest, at this point, it doesn't really make a difference.
That was unfortunate. Somewhat to be expected, right? All they had coming into this round was the AWP. They're not even going to have that going into the next. So, unlucky. Oh, that's really unlucky. Just not enough time to grab that. Yeah, I think that lurk was obviously huge as well. Just nobody expecting him to be coming up from behind. And yeah, just kind of a little bit of a rinse through there. Take those guns away. Deny anything. Paquetá slowly starting to pull away again. Slowly starting to chip away at Furia's economy. They're just coming into this once again with that hero rifle. Just to try get something going. Tip of the spear here for cows. But yeah, in a rough spot, no utility. So every peak is going to be a dry peak. Paquetá just have to hold the angles and they should be good to go.
They're very aggressive and they're going to get mown down. Decency makes that connection with the Deagle, but unfortunately going to be in a little bit of a tricky situation. He is going to fall down. His teammate does get the kill, but the trade-off is going to be coming almost instantaneously. And X and F, one of the key players here for his team, 21-17, really leading the charge.
Yeah, doing exceptional work. And like I said, right, they just had to hold their angles. Sure, Furia get a couple of shots in there, but doesn't really amount to terribly much. I don't know, I feel like every round has just become imperative for Furia to win. And with every round that goes by, it feels like that opportunity is slowly slipping away from them. Paquetá have just had such good control of the map in a very general sense. And here again, right, pushing out very, very aggressively, looking to gain that early information. There's the opening shot from Qualif, who has been so good with that AWP. And Furia's hopes and dreams start to slip away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult spot on that front. I mean, you don't quite expect Qualif to be there. On the other hand, you should expect a player to be holding on towards this position. Is he going to be spotting this? He does! The next shot, Qualif gets baited out, misses the shot, doesn't get the opportunity to. We do see them pushing long still up onto that boost spot. And S in a decent position. DCT going to catch Qualif off guard, sends his body flying. Destiny peeking around the corner, catches his teammate off guard. Gets the kill, turns around, headshot, but not the kill. DCT going to be clinging onto life. 2v2. Venom going to be in a key position. Remember, this player is an absolute god at times. We saw him in Inferno absolute dominate, and this is why he's got a sharp aim. Decency is going to be down on low HP. A single bullet can take him down. He's been spotted, but he connects the kill. And now, no, Venom's here. He may well not be the dedicated AWP player, but he sure as hell goes out to handle the big green gun.
Love it. Love to see Furia just keep fighting back. I mean, this is a much better look than what we saw on Inferno. And I think that, like, so that first map goes by, and you know what they say, right? The first map's a warm-up map. And they come into this one, and they're definitely looking a lot better, quite a lot cleaner than they had previously. And the T side really does start to look that little bit better. Like we'd mentioned, right? T sides can... It's the easiest side if you're a pug team. Which these players obviously are not, but they're missing that key piece, that IGL, which does make them that little bit less deadly than what, you know, less coordinated than what they usually would have been. And they're doing a really good job of leveraging that for themselves. I think they're also doing a relatively good job of kind of using Paquetá's aggression against them. You know, sometimes they're able to catch out one of those players that might be a little bit too far away from the rest of the team. And once you have that, once you get that first kill, it's a lot easier to gain that control. Sure, Qualif gets the first kill of the round, but as soon as it's traded back, trades favor the Ts. So if you can continue leveraging that, if you can continue taking space and pushing Paquetá back, then there's still an avenue to come back.
Question is, can they understand the avenue and really take it in their own advantage? We've seen some interesting plays coming out from Furia Academy. They now have an opportunity. The Qualif has got his AWP. He could be the stopping power that Paquetá need to try and stop Furia from making this comeback. 13-10. If you are just joining us, this is the ESL Challenger Rotterdan 2022 South American closed qualifiers. The best of three. This is the second map. First one, just Furia's map pick on Inferno. They lost it out. Fairly convincing fashion to Paquetá, who absolutely dominated. Furia are down a man. They have a replacement. The IGL is out for the count right now. He is unfortunately unwell. Moving on, back into the game here, we can see, obviously, Furia, they switch sides over towards the T side. They're trying to stay alive. They managed to win that last round. This is a little bit close towards the end, but Venom did fall. It's going to be an AWP, M4, Famous, a couple of Eagles on Paquetá's side. And we do see Furia just slow it down, Sam.
I love the respect that they're showing. Despite the fact that Paquetá are on mostly a save, they might be able to ascertain that there's been a little bit of a force up here, so rather give that team the respect that they deserve and play information starve. And this is an important one because as it stands, Paquetá doesn't have any information. They haven't spotted a single player. They've tried. They've done boosts. They've, tried to spot some players out, and despite the zero info, a bit of aggression from CK Zhao, well, doesn't pan out for them.
I mean, the aggressive players are just all over the place, but they're going to be making it work for them. Koala and Decency get some trade-offs. They have lost a couple. Whereas doesn't lose himself there, but Gafalo has been spotted, I think. He is going to be able to have an opportunity to shoot, but could have been missing it. Please don't peek that corner. You know there's an AWP there. Gafalo, he doesn't miss any shots if he peek. Koala takes down Ali now. Last player that's alive. He's going to be stuck behind this wall. Some wall bangs potentially going to be coming out against him, and he's going to be running for the hills. Singing the Iron Maiden song right now. He can be going back. Actually, turn around, takes down Koala, affects their economy a little bit further, and you can see there's not much to it on the side of the Furia. They haven't got much in the bank.
Yeah, they couldn't really afford for this round to be that close, and it was one of the real talking points for me was just, despite the fact that rounds were being lost by Furia, they were still doing so well to consistently take out a lot of Paquetá Gaming's players. And so you do a lot of chip down. Oh no, I thought that he was going to get snuck up on and just get completely obliterated, but he does manage to hold on to it. So yeah, consistently chipping away at the economy of Paquetá Gaming, despite the fact that they have been, or that they're still at quite a lead. This is big, and this is an important thing to note. Paquetá have just come off the back of a janky buy, and they're still on a pistol. So this is a really important round for Furia, a really good opportunity to bring things back in their favor. But that being said, we've seen what Paquetá are capable of with pistols in their hands. And if Furia Academy don't maintain the same respect that they've been showing, if they get a little overconfident here, then it could just end up biting them in the ass.
Follow survived his teammates into this round with his AWP. He's gonna get backed up by a couple of USP players. It'll be his end though. Not soon enough, as Perez are gonna go down. They do now know where the AWP is. That's a rifle. That could be potentially recoverable for Paquetá. Run is sneaking up on towards site. XNS has gone on the side of the opposition, but this time he doesn't get the kill he was looking for. He does manage to get one shot off onto them. Connected. Smokes, grenades. Gonna be going. Oh my god, that's so close. Almost taste it. Well, Gavolo, gonna have to back off here. You don't want to lose this AWP. He's gonna be playing a little bit of a dangerous game. I'll give him that. You know what? If he can take the shot, even if he misses, they're likely to not check that corner and just rush after him. So this could be a really good exit frag for them. Otherwise, they don't really have too much to lose in that situation as long as they can get that AWP into the save.
Kind of interesting to me that Venom and Ale are also kind of going for a save thing. Yeah, I thought maybe they'd try and at least get a couple of exits here and there, or just die to the bomb. Cool, that works too. Certainly a choice. Yeah, that went more or less as I expected. There was always the possibility that Paquetá were going to be able to come back and do something spectacular. We've seen it before, more often than I'd like to admit, but this time around, Furia, I think with how much better they've been looking in this series, it seemed far more realistic that they'd be able to come out on top of that round. Can they keep it going? Right, because Paquetá are still, they're able to buy in a little bit here, but it's still not ideal. Fury is going to need a lot more, and Gafolo's just so good.
Just gets those shots off, should have that position recovered, like, almost immediately, if you're going to be at least peeking up towards there. They had two players. Destiny is about to catch a player off guard. At the moment, Perez is going to be peeking up. He has no idea there's a player right next to him. Doesn't even check it. Completely blind. I think that's just the kind of, misplaced, I guess, trust that no one's going to be there. And you can't blame that on not having an IGL.
Yeah, that's just a really silly mistake to make, not checking that corner, getting a little overconfident maybe, hoping that you're going to catch someone off guard, and it backfires. Yep. Here
we go. This could be the 13-13 round or the 14-12. So it's a massive round here. Advantage either club for Paquetá potentially. Execution is coming into play, full stack, pretty much on over towards this site. The bomb is nowhere to be seen. Keep that in mind. So they're going to go in for kills. Ali and Venom, they're going to pick up one each. And now it's going to be Grun left alive. And he goes down. They didn't even have any hope in getting the bomb plant down. That was long gone.
No, we're on the brink of match and series point. I nearly got a little ahead of myself there. But like you said, right, that previous round was super important. This round is going to be super important because, of course, it is a massive force from Furia. And if they lose this one, then we're on match point and they don't really have anything to work with. So tough scenes across the board for this Furia Academy, who have done an incredible job of bringing it back off the back of a rough Inferno.
It's definitely rough. They had a better chance on this one. Still have a better chance. So pessimistic. There's been a lot of mistakes individually here on Furia's side. They have had some fantastic plays as well, but just looking at that previous one, Sam, I mean, complete obliviousness to there being players in certain positions. I mean, it could happen right here again. Same player. Same situation. Just complete blindness. I'm not quite sure what has happened, but it almost feels like they need that player, that glue to hold them together. Maybe CK, Zhao, and Decenty can do something again on this front. They're two players amongst a swarm of opposition. The bomb is completely out of their control.
Oh, it's just absolutely falling apart here. Like you said, right, there have been some shining moments for Furia where it really felt like they were going to be able to bring it back. And to their credit, they have brought this up to 12 rounds on Paquetá's map pick. Okay, their own map pick didn't go, you know, as they might have wanted, but this has been much better than what we would have expected coming into this. I mean, you take a look at their Overpass, and statistically, they're at like a 20% win rate on this map. So to have done this well without an IGL against a team of Paquetá's caliber, sorry, but that says a hell of a lot to me, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, they've done a really, really good job here. And, you know, it's not the end of the road. There is still a lower bracket, so hopefully, you know, hopefully there's a return.
Yeah, you know, Furia, imagine seeing them at their full power would have been absolutely great in this, but Furia Academy, I guess we should be more specific on this one. They've done well to get to this point. I mean, it's not a complete wipe off. I mean, that previous map, 6 rounds only on Inferno on your map pick. That's disappointing. Even without an IGL, not really forgivable. I'm sure they're gonna get slapped in the training room. Well, not physically, you know, just mentally about that. You know, what was going on, what was wrong here. We move onwards.
Physical, you know.
Oh no! You missed the charge. Might go down. He misses the second one. How have you done this, Decenty?
How does Gafolo just kind of stand there and allow him to get 2 shots off? I mean, the first one, fair enough, but the second?
I mean, I'm lost.
It's absolute scenes.
We've had the situation where they tried to do the retake scenario into B, and GG, well played. That is going to go to Paquetá winning that best of 3 series in a 2